Lie, 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 lie. La 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 la. Yes, we are going to talk about the lying of Trump and his DOJ and anybody else involved with him. The chick that talks, what's her name? I can't stand her, so I don't know her name. And we are live and hoping to see some people drop by. There's Jolie. Yeah, we I want to talk about a couple things. But I want to talk about Trump's lying and the DOJ lying and all the lying. Lie, lie, lie. But I'll kind of just sit here for a minute till we get some people coming in so they won't miss much. How you doing, Jolie? There's Jackie. Hello, Jackie. Thanks for stopping in. I was just telling Jolie that we're going to talk about the lying liars. Darlene's here. Hello, Darlene. All right, listen to it on your TV. Cool. We're going to talk about the liars. We're also going to talk about the peace deal for Ukraine, which is just a bunch of crap, but you know. There we go. I think I want to remove this one. And 72-inch TV screen. I bet you my face looks big. There we go. Got it up here. Sure. Hang on just a second. My nose decided to pick now to start running again. All right, let's look at this deal. It's 28-point Ukraine peace plan, which apparently the United States tried to say it was their peace plan, but then it turns out this was actually Russia's wish list, and they just put it out there. Let's see here. It says, yeah, Steve Witkoff. Plan was drafted by by Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff, and with input from Marco Rubio and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Well, that's come out that that's not exactly true. Witkoff and Kushner got this plan from the Russians, so there's a lie. And they just kind of rubber stamped it, from what I'm understanding. It was presented. Let's see, the U.S. Army Dan Driscoll, Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, presented the plan to Zelensky on Thursday in writing word, and afterwards, Zelensky said he was prepared to hold talks about it with Trump and his team. Between the lines, Zelensky described the plan at the U.S. Vision as the U.S. vision, but not a final offer. He said Ukraine had been clear about its red lines and would give its input to make the plan truly meaningful. A U.S. official also told Axios, this is an Axios reading here, that the administration sees the plan as a live document that can be changed based on discussions with the parties. U.S. official, the official claimed Ukraine was positive about many points during the negotiations and managed to incorporate some of its positions. Trump has also given his personal endorsement to the plan. I don't know that this is really what Trump did, though, because he pretty much said you have to take it. So I don't know, maybe this isn't the best article to be reading from. The plan includes economic components that would see some frozen Russian assets go toward rebuilding Ukraine, sanctions on Russia be lifted, the U.S. and Russia agreeing to partner in areas like AI and mining, Russia returning to the G8. Boy, this just really sounds like a great deal for Russia, doesn't it? All parties would get amnesty for their actions during the war, presumably meaning Russian officials and soldiers could not be prosecuted for war crimes. The plan also calls for Ukraine to hold elections within 100 days of the deal. And Zelensky did say he wanted to hold elections once there was a ceasefire. Worth noting, the 28-point plan reflected the current U.S. plan on Thursday, barring minor changes to the language. It has been amended. It includes annotations from Axios in italics for clarity. The full plan, Ukraine's sovereignty would be confirmed. A comprehensive non-aggression agreement would be concluded between Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. All ambiguities of the last 30 years will be considered settled. It's expected that Russia will not invade neighboring countries and NATO will not expand further. A dialogue will be held between Russia and NATO, mediated by the U.S. to resolve all security issues and create conditions for de-escalation in order to ensure global security, increase opportunities for cooperation, and further economic development. Ukraine will receive reliable security guarantees. Update. A second document details the terms of the security guarantee. The U.S. and its NATO allies would treat an attack on Ukraine as an attack on the entire transatlantic community. The size of Ukraine armed forces would be limited to 600,000 personnel. Ukraine's current army is currently at 800 to 850 personnel, and it had another 250,000 before the war, according to Ukraine official. Ukraine agrees to enshrine its constitution. It will not, or enshrine its constitution. And that it will not join NATO. And NATO agrees to include that its statutes a provision that Ukraine will not be admitted in the future. NATO agrees not to station troops in Ukraine. European jet fighters will be stationed in Poland. The U.S. guarantee, the U.S. will receive compensation for the guarantee. If Ukraine invades Russia, it will lose the guarantee. If Russia invades Ukraine, in addition to decisive coordinated military response, all global sanctions will be reinstated. So I don't know. If Ukraine launches missiles at Moscow or St. Petersburg without cause, the security guarantee will be deemed invalid. This just doesn't sound that great for Ukraine, does it? A powerful global package of measures to rebuild Ukraine, including but not limited to the creation of a Ukraine Development Fund to invest in fast growing industries, including tech, data, and artificial intelligence. The United States will cooperate with Ukraine and jointly rebuild, develop, modernize, operate Ukraine's gas infrastructure, including pipelines and storage facilities. Joint efforts to rehabilitate war affected areas for the restoration, reconstruction, modernization of cities and residential areas. Infrastructure development, extraction of minerals and natural resources. The World Bank will develop a special financing package to accelerate these efforts. Russia will be reintegrated into the global economy. The lifting of the sanctions will be discussed and agreed upon in stages on a case by case basis. The United States will enter a long term economic cooperation agreement for mutual development in areas of energy, natural resource infrastructure, artificial intelligence, data centers, rare earth metal extraction projects in the Arctic, and other mutually beneficial corporate opportunities. We already said Russia would rejoin the G8. Frozen funds will be used as followed. 100 billion of frozen Russian assets will be invested in U.S.-led efforts to rebuild and invest Ukraine. 100 billion. The U.S. will receive 50% of profits from this venture. Of course it will. Russian funds would be unfrozen. The rest of the funds will be invested in a separate U.S. Russian investment vehicle that will implement joint projects in specific areas. This fund will be aimed at strengthening relations and increasing common interests to create a strong incentive not to return to conflict. I don't know about you guys, but this just doesn't sound that great for Ukraine. I mean, there are a couple good things, but mostly it sounds like the United States and Russia are going to get rich. A joint American-Russian working group on securities issues will be established to promote and ensure compliance with all provisions of this agreement. That doesn't sound good. Russia will enshrine in law its policy of non-aggression toward Europe and Ukraine. That would be good. The United States will agree to extend the validity of treaties on the non-proliferation of control of nuclear weapons, including the START 1 treaty. And I'm not sure what that is. New START, the last major U.S. Russian arms control treaty, is due to expire in February. 18. Ukraine agrees to be non-nuclear state in accordance with the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant will be launched under the provision of the IAEA, and the electricity produced will be distributed equally between Russia and Ukraine. Both countries undertake to implement educational programs in schools and societies aimed at promoting understanding and tolerance of different cultures and eliminating racism and prejudice. Maybe we could do that here. Both countries will abolish all discriminatory measures and guarantee the rights of Ukraine and Russian media and education. Similar ideas like this were incorporated into Trump's 2020 Israel-Palestine plan. All Nazi ideology and activities must be rejected and prohibited. 21 territories: Crimea, Luhansk, Donetsk will be recognized as de facto Russian, including by the United States. So Kherson and Zaporizhia will be frozen along the line of contact, which will mean de facto recognition along the line of contact. Russia will relinquish other agreed territories and controls outside the 5 regions. So they're going to give them a lot of land, I guess, huh? I don't know if Zelensky's going to agree to this. I don't think it's a done deal. Ukraine forces will withdraw from the part of Donetsk Oblast that they currently control, and this withdrawal zone will be considered neutral demilitarized buffer zone, internationally recognized as territory belonging to the Russian Federation. Russian forces will not enter the demilitarized zone. 22. After agreeing on future territory arrangements, both the Russian Federation and Ukraine undertake not to change these arrangements by force. Any security guarantees will not apply in the event of a breach of the commitment. 23. Russia will not prevent Ukraine from using the Dnieper River, don't know how that's pronounced, for commercial activities, and agreements will be reached on the free transport of grain across the Black Sea. 24. A humanitarian committee will be established to resolve outstanding issues. All remaining prisoners and bodies will be exchanged in an all-for-all basis. All civilian detainees and hostages will be returned, including children. A family reunification program will be implemented. Measures will be taken to alleviate the suffering of the victims of the conflict. 25. Ukraine will hold elections in 100 days. 26. All parties involved in this conflict will receive full amnesty, and I think we talked about that already. I don't know. Should Russian troops get amnesty for all the crimes they committed? That seems a little nuts to me. This agreement will be legally binding. Its implementation will be monitored and guaranteed by the Peace Council, headed by President Donald Trump. Sanctions will be imposed for violations. Note, this is the same general structure proposed to govern the Gaza peace agreement. And 28, once all parties agree to this memorandum, the ceasefire will take effect immediately. Both sides will retreat to agreed points to begin implementation of this agreement. Let's see what it says about going deeper. Okay, we talked about NATO. I don't know if we need to really go into that. Okay. I'm coming back. Hi, Trucker John. Let's see who else came in while I was busy doing that. Ink Rat's here. Janelle Walker. Josh. A whole bunch of you came in. So, I don't know. I don't think... Oh no, Nancy, what should they watch? I mean, Ink Rat. Don't make them watch me. Did he turn down the deal? I hadn't heard yet. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't think so either, Gloria. This deal just seems like a great deal for the United States and Russia, and Zelensky gets what? You know, gets to lose part of his land. I mean, the rebuilding part of it sounds good, but would they actually do it? I mean, I don't trust them. How'd you know? I don't fucking trust them. Sorry. Just don't. Now my mouth is dry because I read all that crap. So, another bunch of lies we could talk about, and I can't really share it on the screen, but I'm going to read from this Midas Touch Mullah She Wrote report. It's not shareable, but I'm going to read the transcripts, parts of the transcripts, just to bring up certain issues. The Comey indictment is one thing. So you've all probably been following the Comey case and how FUBAR that all went. I'm sorry, I'm stopped to read. Yeah, I agree, Inkrat. The Comey hearing is just in total shambles, and I think it's going to have to be just dismissed. What do you guys think? Yeah, Trucker, I believe you're right. I think Putin handed that deal off to that wish list off to Witkoff and Kushner, and they went and sold it as a plan that the U.S. made, and it wasn't. And it's just sickening. I hope Ukraine just tells them, "F you." Yeah, I think it'll be dismissed too, Gloria. All the lying that went on in that court case. The Comey case is over. Okay. No. Okay, it's not actually over, but yeah, you're agreeing with me. Okay. I didn't have a lot of time today to look things over, and you can thank Inkrat for my theme tonight, because I was planning to do a thing on about how in that big bad ugly bill they wanted to sell private land that's public land. And I went through this whole thing and I thought, wow, this is horrible. And then I found out that that's been taken out of the bill because it was so horrible and because people resisted. And then I had this other idea to go talk to this fellow I met yesterday who was guarding the little, how they have, what is it? You know how they have people outside with the little red cans for donations? This man was sitting there and he was in charge of that, and he was a double amputee, and we got to talking, and it turned out he didn't get his disability this month. So I wanted to go talk to him and find out what happened and why. But I couldn't go because I had scooter issues. Well, Nancy, they can't go watch it if they don't know where it is. I mean, Inkrat. Sorry, her name isn't. Her name's Inkrat. I don't want them to watch it. Nobody needs to see my life story. Funny. Um. Oh, you posted the link above. God, what the hell did you post? I'm not seeing a link. Ink. Don't make me have to come get you tonight. It's precious. Oh no. Okay, whatever. Precious. Yeah, I'm not seeing a link. It must be on my YouTube channel. I'm still in StreamYard talking to you guys. I'm not watching from the YouTube. Working and lurking in the Rams game. Okay, so we all agree that the Comey thing is probably dead in the water, and probably, hopefully, they take away her law license because, wow, talk about stupid. Uh, okay, and Abrego, Kilmar Abrego, is another court case that's about to go off the rails. I would have to go pull up. Let me go see if I can see my stream on YouTube. And maybe the link is showing there. Let me just look. It's not showing up on StreamYard. Oh, that's right. You can't post a link unless you're a mod, Nancy. Let me make you a mod. I need Inkrat. God, I just can't get used to calling you that. I'm so sorry. I try. Hi, Kimchi. All right. Let's see. Inkrat, are you a mod? Type something. Yeah, the dynamic duo for democracy. Inkrat and I are considering doing a show once every 2 weeks together, which I think would be great fun. We haven't tacked it all down. Inkrat isn't showing up blue yet. Let me go see if I did something wrong. I think I've been out of there. Sorry, guys. This just take a second. Ay, 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 ay. My face looks really fuzzy. All right, let's click on Inkratz again. Add as moderator. Standard moderator. Save. It says you're now a moderator, Nancy. So let's see. Type something. See if you're blue. Darlene, that's so nice of you to say. I get a little rattled when I'm trying to read. Get a little tongue twisted. Oh, she's a mod now. There's the link, you guys. You can go look at me being, I don't know, whatever she said, adorable. I have no idea what she's showing you. Okay, so we went on to the Abrego case. Precious. Oh, jeez, I'm so precious. That was funny. Now I've lost where I was. Oh, there it is. Okay, so prosecutors dropped the charges. The whole thing went off the rails. The prosecutors have dropped the charges against the folks in the Miramar Martinez and Ian Santos Ruiz, which was actually the case underpinning Trump's Supreme Court. Not sure what that one's about. That's about deploying the National Guard, I believe. That in Chicago, and that fell apart this week. The House and the Senate broke from MAGA and Trump and voted nearly unanimously to release the Epstein files. The MAGA plan to sometimes these transcripts are really crazy. To donify the Democrats. I don't know what that means in the midterms. That just fell apart. I don't know. The MAGA plans to. It says donify. I don't know what that means. Damn transcripts. In the midterm, that fell apart because Trump can't resist the celebrity. Oh, I know what it is. They're talking about the guy from New York who just won the mayoral race, and Trump fawning all over him in the office. The Alien Enemies Act case that's coming back to Judge Boasberg. That criminal contempt is going to be allowed to resume this week. Let's look back and see what you guys are saying. Ma'am Danny. Ma'am Danny, yeah. Oh boy, that was crazy. That was something else to watch. Yeah, I think the files will be heavily redacted, but we do have the emails that are coming out from Epstein's estate. So that kind of, throws a wrench in their little plans. Funny. Yeah. Ma'am Danny. I don't know. Kamala. Or Barack Hussein Obama. Good Lord. So there was a whole bunch of stuff going on there that, they're going into court lying. They're being caught lying. Chai Rodriguez. That's how he said it. I remember Mom Donu, Mom Donnie, Nee Not New. Choo choo. I wanted to play this busker clip of the busker that did um, the song "Lie to Lie," and I've been having trouble. I'm gonna have to go watch what she put up there about me. Now I'm all freaked out. So I just sang it when I can. Uh, all right, let me go see if I can find it. Just so I know what you guys are all going to go on about. No telling what she put up there. I've got so many. Oh, I know what you put up. All right, I'll just play it on there. No, 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 remove. Share screen. Wait a minute. No, cancel that. Dang it. Watch my clips. I took a clip of it and it's not showing up. That's very weird. Is that not on YouTube, Nancy? I didn't see. Um, Let me look at that again. Maybe I can figure out how to do it. Gotta keep going back to the YouTube link. It is on YouTube. Why can't I share it? Okay. Let me try this again. Oh, not coming up. Oh, it's not in there, even though I shared it. Okay, let me see. Share screen. This is my screen sharing was canceled. You make sure you click share on the. I don't know. That's not it. Oh hell, you guys just go watch it because I'm not being able to pull it up and play it in here. She made that for my, was it my birthday that you did that? Nance. This is what 50 years of plus friendship get you. They make cute videos of you. Oh, it was National Best Friends. I gotta get some of these tabs closed. What day is National Friends Day? I do not know. Okay, back to the lies. They lied about turning the planes around when they were taking all those people to El Salvador. Remember that? Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Hmm. They lied about um, saying that or um, Puerto Rico wouldn't take him, and that came out that that was a big fat lie. Lie, lie, lie. Oh my God, these people lie so much. There we go. Got rid of that echo I was hearing. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but I could. Now Trump is blocked from deploying to the National Guard in Portland and Chicago, and they are packing up and leaving. So, you know, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Not that it's the National Guard's fault, but I wish ICE would have to pack up and go. He lost another vote in the House because MTG resigned. Yay! Don't let the door hit you again. She's gonna resign on January 5th. So basically, the incompetence and malfeasance of this administration is just on full display. Just they have an obscene disregard for the rule of law. Um, he's left the government cases teetering on the edge of a cliff. At the top of a roller coaster. This I'm just reading this from the transcript, not really my words. I'm kind of trying not to read it verbatim so I don't get dinged. Um, uh, he may lose the deal on the tariffs, depending on what the Supreme Court says. And they have fabricated evidence that they can't back up. Yeah, the list just goes on and on. I bet I could do this for like a month straight and not. Hey Jeff, I could do it for like a month straight and not cover all the lies coming out of this administration and coming out of Trump's pie hole. And it's exhausting as usual, but we're just going to keep kicking them. kicking their lies right back in their faces because, I don't know if any of you saw Pam Bondi come out and announce investigations, and that it could be hard to release the files because of, and she just like stuttered over this, like, yeah, because of information, new information. Yeah, that's it, new information. It was, she could barely talk. And it's like the worst reality TV show ever, and we're living it. I would like to live long enough to see them all be held accountable. And another thing, Trump and his bombastic bullshit about those congressmen that came out and said, hey, if they're giving you unlawful orders, you don't have to follow them, telling the military that. And then that chick that speaks for him gets out there and says they're telling members not to follow lawful orders. I mean, it's just like up is down, down is up. Yeah, they just, all of them are liars. Oh no, Josh. I would not want to be stuck in a car with that woman. Maybe a dark out Caroline Levitt, thank you. Maybe a dark alley, but not a car. That was not a threat. I'm nonviolent. But that lady pisses me off. She just gets out there and lies with such a straight face with her little cross on her neck there, and like, oh wow. Wow. She's a doozy. Carol again. I didn't see what Josh. Okay. Lion, Carol Lion, I see. Yep. She's got her mouth up and she's lying too, just like Trump. Well, Jeff, did you make an email account that was at Jeff Curry 8317? That's what it is, I think. So you might kind of got through all the lion stuff that I really feel like covering because I feel kind of sick for reading it all. But it's good to point it out that they are. I think that the Supreme Court is going to ding him on his tariffs. I don't know. What do you guys think? It sounds like they're oh, okay, Nancy, that's you guys are funny. Oh, on YouTube. My YouTube account is associated with my Gmail account, I think. Let me look. I'll just type something. Yeah, that's whack P264 is a Gmail account of mine. So I always thought that's just how that worked out. Maybe it's different for other people. Huh. Very strange. I've noticed that on some YouTube channels now, instead of using, like, I would show up as P Dubs, I'll show up as Whack P. And most people know Whack P because I used to be Patty Whack for a while on YouTube. So once people go, "Is that you, P Dubs?" And I go, "Yeah, that's me." I changed it because I didn't want to be Whack P anymore or Patty Whack. And yeah. So, any other lies you guys can think of that I've missed? There's a whole slung of them there, slew of them. I was really relieved to know they're not going to take our public lands and sell them to the wealthy people who can afford to buy them. I'm glad that was written out of the bill, but it kind of blew up my show. And thanks to Inkrat, I was saved with some material because I had some scooter problems today. I went to go to the store in my new scooter and I turned the key and nothing. But a friend came over and we looked at it and fixed it. It was a electrical problem underneath the seat of my scooter. There's like a switch where you can turn the electricity off or on that goes to it. Well, it was still on, but one of the wires going into it. What page? Gloria. Anyway, one of the wires, you could tell it kind of had browned on this little box that was in there that the switch is on. So the friend took it and stripped it out and put it back in, and it got going. And that's when I went to try to go see the double amputee guy for the Salvation Army. That's what he was collecting for. I couldn't think of that earlier. Yeah, you're talking about the numbers change. I think on Trader Trucker John's stream, I show up as Whack P, and I've noticed that on others, and it's something YouTube is doing that's really weird and people aren't really happy about. I don't like it. I want to be P Dubs. Anything else interesting you guys would like to discuss? Give me a heads up there. I'm kind of, la di da. I think that I think things are looking better for Democrats now, and I think that it's a really good sign that we won all those elections like 2 Tuesdays ago when it was. I think it's a really good sign that they're losing all these court cases and they're just showing up as fools. I mean, the lawyers in the DOJ, all of them are just, I don't know, they have to know the shit's not going to fly. Even Todd Blanche going down to visit Ghislaine and prompting her to say, "Oh, I never saw Trump do anything wrong." Well, that's blowing up in his face because of the emails from the Epstein Foundation. So, they're just a bunch of clowns or something. It's like a big giant orange clown show. Welcome to the Orange Clown Show. And all of us just get to sit back and go insane and then come back to sanity and, you know. So, well, if nobody gives me anything else they want to talk about, I guess I should close it down. We've almost gone an hour. I didn't want to be in this circle. I don't know why they keep hurting me in the circle. Try this instead. Oh. Funny, Jeff. Very funny. Mexico's going to pay for the ballroom. He would say it too. If you just get someone to sidle up and drop it in his head, because he just goes with whatever anybody tells him. I think it's really something I wanted to talk about. Is why is Jared Kushner running around working for the government when he doesn't work for the government? He was involved in that whole peace plan thing. Why is that happening? Does anybody know? Jeff is he just trying to make some extra money on the side, or because Jared's handling Trump's money? I thought his sons were in charge of Trump's money. I guess he's his son-in-law. Darlene, thanks for coming. I'm glad you could be with us tonight. That's what I wanted to show. Should we do a little... yeah. I'm sure he's aware of how stupid his own kids are. I think that I think we'll just call it a night. And you're welcome, darling. I hope you guys get some rest tonight. I know some of you probably got to go to work in the morning. Jackie, you didn't say a lot. Did you finally get your check from the government for your paycheck? I hope you did. All right. We're just going to say, lie, 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 lie. All he ever does is fucking lie. Huh. Yep, we're stuck with that liar. All right, everybody, have a good night. Be kind to people. Help people when you can. Love you too, Kimchi. Oh, good, Jackie. I'm so glad to hear you got your check. Nancy, thanks for coming. Jeff Carey, Josh. Let's see. I see Darlene. Did I miss anybody? If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Nancy, thanks for showing that little video. Now everybody knows what I looked like when I was little. And we'll talk next week, and hopefully Ink Rat and I can Oh, Jolie, thanks for modding, hun. Yeah, we've been up for an hour. So thank you, everybody, and have a good night. Get some rest. Try not to lose your minds in the madness. Be kind to people. Love you all. Take care. Bye.